rompiendo con todo. En H2 el 97.3 la fiesta se formó. La música con variedad te tocamos desde salsa hasta reggaetón. Un vacilón, este es el show de la mañana en el tapón. Son un bombón, tírame remix, listo. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show. Esto es el show de la mañana, el show.
Este es el show de la mañana con Julio,
Esther y Mafer.
Y de esta manera, señoras y señores, le estamos dando comienzo a nuestro segmento, que es nuestro Chamber Radio Talk Show. Y tenemos un invitado especial, pero no sin antes comenzar con nuestro CEO. Y esto dice así. Vamos allá.
Welcome to the Greater Gainesville Chamber Radio Show, where you can amplify your business through Tu Fiesta Radio.
Eric, take it away.
Hello. Welcome for Tu Fiesta Radio. We are so excited today to share updated news of what's going on in our community. We are in a period of our experience some tremendous growth in our region. In the Greater Gainesville area, we are so excited. We are currently just about 290,000 residents living in our area right now, and we are growing daily. Every week, we are watching that growth. On a slow week, we can have 70 individuals moving into our community. And on our busy weeks, we have up to 160. Wow. What does this mean? We are looking at, in the next 6 years, we're going to move from 290,000 to close to 340. That's on the high end, they're speculating, and on the low end, 311. We're blowing that away right now, so it's looking more closer to the 340. What does that mean? We have to invest in infrastructure. Why do we have to invest in infrastructure? Because the growth is tremendous. Our growth is coming from South Florida. The state of Florida is seeing growth come from all over the nation, but we in North Central Florida are watching them move from Southeast and Southwest Florida. Give you some examples. A week ago, I was touting that in the next 6 years, we're going to need like 14,233 jobs. Well, based on the growth that's happening, that was changed this week, and I got the information yesterday. Now they're looking at us needing 17,300 and something odd jobs in this area.
Wow.
And we're excited that the companies that are moving here, the manufacturers and the industries that want to come, but then that puts the onus on us at the chamber to make sure we're getting people in those jobs to fill those for those companies that are coming in attracted to this area. So we're very excited for the growth that's happening. We're excited for the growth that's coming from South Florida, both Southeast and Southwest Florida, because that means we need to build the infrastructure across the board and really make sure that our new residents are welcome in our community and have the opportunity to survive. So with that, that's the update for today. I'm going to pass it to Steve Cannon to introduce our special guest. Steve?
Got it.
You got it. There you go.
Thank you, Eric. Appreciate you. I'm excited. We got our Senior Vice President Commercial Banker from Capital City Bank, John Sanchez, here with us. John's going to share some updates on what's going on locally with our finances here and our banks. But I really want to start off, John. First of all, thanks for being here.
Absolutely.
Right?
Thank you for having me.
I like to ask, just to get things started, so people learn a little bit about who you are and all. Like, what brought you to Gainesville? Give us a little background on John.
So that's a personal story, but I'll share it. So my wife and I started having our family, and we had our son, and then we had our daughter, and then we went for number 3, and I like telling people we ended up with the BOGO, so right. Twin boys. We were living in Tampa at the time. That's where most of my family, because I was originally from Miami, and so most of my family had moved up to Tampa, and so. At that time, she kind of waved the right flag and said, "Hey, listen, we're going to have 4 kids, 3 years and under. Wow. I need help." And her parents actually lived in Gainesville. And side note, my wife and I are actually college sweethearts from U.S., so we're both alumni. Wow, we met at college. Right. Yeah. Go Gators, right? So that's what brought me to Gainesville. Actually, her parents were here. They wanted to help us out, and it's been 14 years now.
Fantastic.
Yep.
Glad you're here, man. We've known you for a couple of years. You've been very active in the community, very active with our chamber as a volunteer diplomat. And your whole team here, just Rob and the team just does a great job working with us to help our development and our communities grow. But Eric mentioned a lot of growth going on in Gainesville. How is that affecting your industry? Give us a little update, how that works together with you.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many different areas in Gainesville that are growing, and where specifically from how it's affected me in my role is got an opportunity to work with a lot of these home builders. You know, you see a lot of these homes being built in the different areas in Gainesville, and so that's one thing that I specifically do with Capital City Bank. So that's been exciting to see. So many homes being built up and helping our community and having people move into these homes. You know, other things you see developments. You see a lot of these developments that are going on. You know, some of them are a little big for respectively Capital City Bank, but the ones that are right in our sweet spot, we're able to get an opportunity, and we've been able to been successful in having opportunities to finance some of those developments. The other nice thing too is, you know, businesses are thriving. You know, they're being successful and they're growing, and so it's exciting to be able to work with business owners as they're growing and helping them move into different facilities. So that's been really fruitful as well.
Well, awesome. I mean, I know Capital City's been a member of ours since 1984.
Yeah.
I think it was. So we have our member appreciation event coming up on October 10th. You guys will be getting a nice plaque, 40 years as a chamber member. I know you haven't been there the whole 40 years, but, you know, you're still going to get the plaque. You know, so.
I'll take it. That's all that matters.
Look good for that 40 years, right?
But I know that, like, again, with all the development, there are a lot of small business owners here in town, right,
Yep.
that need some help and some guidance as to what to do to take that next step or minimize their risk in taking that next step, right? So how do you work with local business owners and help them out?
Yeah, a great question. And that's what's been exciting, too, is, you know, in general, banks are conservative, right? I mean, if you've talked to any banker that kind of breaks it down on a basic terms, we let you know we're cash flow lenders at the end of the day. You know, we've got to be able to show that for every dollar of debt we're going to put you in, you earning about $1.50 essentially. And you know, the nice thing is that we've been able to do at Capital City Bank is that when small business owners come to us and have opportunities where they have the need for capital to help them support their growth, when we see that there's let's call it maybe the bank looks at it in a lens and says it's a little higher risk than we feel comfortable with, then we partner and look for different programs that are available for small businesses that help them. You know, one is the SBA programs. You know, whenever someone's looking to buy a building or even trying to start a business, you know, we've been able to work with some clients and help them do things like that. The program specifically are SBA 504 or the SBA 7A program. Those have been really helpful in helping us support small businesses. The other thing too I wanted to share in reference to small businesses is because there's this kind of unknown or a lot of media or social or news that are sharing that, hey, there's this money out there. There's, you know, how do I get to it? Where do you know? And a lot of people turn to banks. You know, the banks aren't in control of that stuff. But I actually partner with a gentleman named Michael Chung. He works for the SBDC, and he actually helps a lot of the business owners find that money that they're hearing about or you're seeing on websites. So I wanted to share that because it's important for small business owners to understand that, yes, I mean, come to banks and we can talk with you and kind of share with you the things that you need to be, quote unquote, credit worthy. But we also should be really good partners, not just to them, but for our community and helping them find ways to get to the access to money that's out there.
And it's very, very important to mention that you speak Spanish, right?
Sí, sí. A mí me dijeron que íbamos a fiestejar aquí, pero me están preguntando todas estas preguntas.
So you can actually help them in a bilingual way, you know, to get help the Latino community. A lot of Latino businesses. Do you have a number of how many Latino businesses we have in the Gainesville area?
You know, but we can find out. We can bring it the next time we come. We can make sure we work on that number. I think because that's a good number to track. I love tracking numbers. So that's just another one I'm going to add there to track. So we can bring an update.
I think around 200, maybe 150, something like that. It's a lot.
I think the last numbers we saw were from a couple of years ago.
It was.
From the U.S. Census, and it was just over 340, I think.
Yes, but I think it's grown a lot since then. Yeah. And that's why I want to check. I think we tend to undervalue. I don't think we understand the impact and how many Latino businesses are in our community, how many are coming every day, and the growth. And that's why I love the station, because it's getting that word out and helping them come into the mainstream. I mean, it's one of those things where, John, I'm going to make a little switch here. You know, I've known you for a while, so my wife and I personally benefit from knowledge of knowing you and working with you. And one of the things that I want to really share with our community that I love about Cap City, right? When I look at Cap City, in all of our decades of living here, there's only one bank I saw that ever opened a branch on the east side of Gainesville, right? I hear all these other people talking. Yep. But I watched Capital City Bank walk this, and they're the only bank I ever saw open up on the east side of Gainesville. But that isn't where I'm really going. I love the fact that I've always seen Capital City investing in our community and supporting our nonprofits in a way. And it's something that I know as an employee there you must take pride in, you know, your commitment. And this isn't anything new. This has always been, you know, Capital City Bank. And this is probably stemming from your board of directors, because, I mean, the engagement has always been there. And for me, that's when I know this is a local bank. And I see this in the region. Wherever you guys are, you're involved in that area.
So I'll share real quick, because it's interesting that Steve mentioned that we're going to get recognized for being involved in the chamber for so long. I will tell you, I'm still surprised today, you know, that how people don't realize that we celebrated our, I think it's 129th year anniversary as a bank.
Wow, 129.
Yeah, so I mean, we've been around, and we've seen some things. You know, we keep, and we're still here. But I think that's important, because you know, when you talk to businesses, small businesses, a lot of them try. You know, the question is always, you know, hey, how do I do this? How do I keep the longevity? How do I keep doing this? And I will tell you, I mean, Capital City Bank, they figured out that formula. And I will tell you, one of the key components to it is what you're asking me. Is you got to be involved in your community. You have to find ways to give back to your community. And absolutely, that's one of the things. It's our core value. It is. You mentioned it from the top to the right. I mean, during orientation, you know, our CEO talks to every associate and talks to them about how important it is to give back to the community. So I will tell you, you know, myself, you know, when I first started with the bank, that was one of the things that really helped for me, the bank to differentiate itself from other competitors. You know, earlier, you know, I think you're asking me, you know, how many banks have I worked for? You know, I started off at Bank of America, and then I looked at making a switch. And I will tell you, that was one of the big reasons why I chose Capital City Bank, because, you know, during my interview process, that was prominent. That was evident that they wanted associates that were going to come in and give back to the community. So not only did they talk it, but they were encouraging me. I mean, they literally told me, John, if there's organizations that you're interested in and you want to give back to the community, tell us, we will support you. And I will tell you that I can give you example upon example since I've been with the company, where I've gone to you know, our city president or even our regional, and I say, hey, listen, this is a community organization that I'm involved in. This is one that I really care about. I feel really passionate about. I want to support them. And every time they said yes.
That's awesome.
That is nice.
That's very nice. Y just to summarize a little bit what you just said in Spanish, básicamente las personas que están ahora mismo en sintonía a través de la 97.3 HD2 y también a través de Tu Fiesta Radio FM, nuestra aplicación. Estamos en Facebook también en vivo en nuestro canal de YouTube. Usted puede dejarnos su comentario. Estamos con John Sánchez. Él es, John, tú eres como básicamente el encargado regional de todo lo que son los préstamos comerciales para los negocios de cualquier tamaño, ¿verdad? Podemos decirlo así, para poner ponerlo más fácil, la persona la entienda.
Claro.
Y es importante que sepa que estás a disposición de la comunidad, que llevas ya mucho tiempo con Capital City Bank y que también eres un miembro de la Cámara de Comercio, que están celebrando más de 120 años y que llevan 40 años con el Chamber of Commerce aquí de Gainesville, Florida, que van a ser reconocidos posteriormente en un encuentro que vamos a tener con la Cámara de Comercio. Así que si usted tiene alguna pregunta, alguna sugerencia, usted tiene algo que decir acerca de lo que estamos debatiendo, si quiere también que traduzcamos algo, pues nos puede dejar saber ahí en los comentarios. So now we're going to switch back to English again.
Okay.
So let's talk about your personal background as well, because we just mentioned that you are bilingual. But where are you from, and why do you speak Spanish? Because some people, they actually are born here, but they learn how to speak.
Yeah.
So where is your family from?
So here, I mean, I was born and raised in Miami. My parents actually are my father's Puerto Rican, my mom's Mexican. They met in South Beach, and then that blossomed. It was obviously a good story. That I'm one of 6 children, and I'll tell you that why do I speak Spanish? Because my mom never spoke English to me. Siempre hablaba español cuando estaba en la casa, cuando estábamos practicando de escuela, de trabajo, de mi futuro, siempre hablando español. Y también cada verano, cuando nosotros teníamos el break de verano, íbamos a México. Y pasaba los veranos con mi familia en México. Y era, por eso yo estoy bien, ¿cómo te digo? Orgulloso que yo no
lo perdiste.
No lo perdí, pero también aprendí. Pero, era bien beneficiario para mí y mis hermanos, porque llegamos, como vamos a decir, en junio de cada verano.
Los summers.
Y nunca hablábamos español, porque mi mamá nos hablaba, pero nosotros nunca contestamos en español. Y mi papá, siempre hablando inglés. Pero íbamos y estamos aquí en México y todos acerca de nosotros, nadie hablaba en inglés, nadie de mi familia allá. Y pues, pero dentro 5 o 7 días, como si nada, hablando español.
Nice.
Pero así es como yo hablo español y para que sepan todos los que están oyendo, yo estoy aquí para servirle a esta comunidad, los latinos, los dueños de negocios, si necesitan, si se sienten más cómodos hablando con alguien que habla español, a su servicio.
Okay, well, that's so awesome,
Yeah.
That's so great when your family actually help you develop that language, either as first or second, whatever, but you are very fluent, you do it great, and that open doors for your future, for you and your family as well. That's fantastic.
Yep.
That's awesome. So any question I actually have a question for you. What is the most frequent loan that you get approached for?
Wow, that's a great question. I would have to say there's two. It's also the working capital. A lot of business owners figure out a way to get it started, figure out a way to start, if you will, the first phase of their business, and then they find themselves in a position like, hey, hold on, where I want to maintain this, or they're having some success and they're like, man, they see that they're on the cusp of more. Like, man, there's more opportunity. How do I take advantage of that? I would say that's the biggest. I would say probably the most common question that I get from most business owners is how do I get more money?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So, any events, anything else that we have from the chamber?
Well, we're in our centennial year. We're halfway through it, right? I can't believe it's already July. But we have a 100 members in 100 days event going on right now. We're looking for our members and our diplomats, our 40 diplomats. Here you are, guys. You're on YouTube, right? And actually, Tom from Capital City Bank's in this picture.
That's right. That's right. Represent.
We're looking to bring on 100 new members over these next 100 days, and that'll end on October 3rd. And then we're going to celebrate the not only the teams, but the individuals that helped introduce us to the most businesses that came on board and to support our community that way. So here's a QR code. If you want to scan that, we'll be happy to follow up with you, give you some more information. But we're looking forward to growing our community and growing our chamber.
So there are a couple other things I want to share. You know, we're very excited. We have our Buy Local program that we've been doing for a couple years now. This will be our third year, I think, or maybe more.
More, yeah.
It's more.
Yeah.
It's really, and it's, you know, it's Gainesville Loves the Gators.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something that we do every year where we actually work with the Gainesville Artisan Guild, and they will decorate and paint. You know, we have these naked gators, we call them, and then they'll paint them with all kind of patterns and colors and adorn them with all kind of things. We put a QR code on them, and we hide them in our local retail and different businesses to drive our community to go visit these businesses and to frequent them, that kind of stuff. And so for us, this is something that's incredible. It's been going on for a while. It's really unique. And I just want to remind everyone, this is going to be kicking off soon. So if you hadn't reached out to the chamber, the Julianne Raymond Flincham.
Yep.
And get your name on there, because we have a lot of the folks who've done it in the past. Make sure they're reaching out to reserve their gators again, because it drives the traffic. It's a scavenger hunt, and people come from all around our region. They're looking and searching for these gators. And with our partnership with the UAA, we're just so fortunate that they give tremendous prizes like season tickets to like football games with like parking passes, to basketball games with like parking passes, baseball. You know, they have these things, incredible prizes. And so we can only do it with our community. And we're so thankful for all of our retailers, everyone in here that's out there, our restaurants who are hustling every day to make our community that much greater. And so we want to just make sure you guys are aware this is happening. And another thing I want to point out is really, I want to encourage all of our businesses in our area to learn more about Florida Victorious. Yes. Florida Victorious is an incredible program that we have. And if you don't know more about it, please reach out to Freddie Weeby. Florida Victorious is doing an incredible job helping our student athletes. And we as a community benefit tremendously from all of the athletics that's happening in our community. And as a chamber, we're trying to bring more and more here every day, because we know the benefit that trickles down to everyone in our community, from our hotels, restaurants, businesses in general, those dollars that are spent by our visitors that come for any of these athletic events. I mean, we watch athletic events empty out the Nike store, the Tommy store, and all that stuff in celebration. We know that Butler Town Center is the top trafficked, you know, shopping plaza in the state of Florida and on the top in the nation. So we're constantly trying to drive that traffic to support our local businesses that are here, making a difference. And we know through Florida Victorious, we can make that difference. And it's an exciting time here in Greater Gainesville.
Yeah, and I like what Frey said yesterday. When the Gator wins, I mean, our community wins.
That's correct.
So we would love to keep pushing, and we would love for you that are listening to get involved with Florida Victorious and see how you can help. So that's great that we mentioned that. Yesterday we actually recorded a great video for the board of directors, you know, showcasing the how impactful it is, the mission, the cause of Florida Victorious to help raise funds for the Gators, because there is a lot of costs involved and investment that need the help of the entire community.
That's correct.
That's awesome.
I got one more question for John.
Absolutely.
Eric was talking about development on the east side and all, Capital City Bank being over there, but I saw this huge billboard with some guy. Dude, you are bigger than life on this billboard. I'm just saying.
I gotta go to that billboard right now after this.
I don't know where it's at, but just go on 39th and head towards the water park.
Yeah. It's the airport. Towards the airport. You can't miss it. I'm just saying.
Oh, I love that. I love that. That is awesome. Well, we want to say thank you, John, for coming. It is an honor and pleasure to have you at Tu Fiesta Radio. I met John the first time was, I think, 6 years ago at the Lava event. The same day, I think, actually, I met Jorge Villalobos. Yep. Okay. And we actually established a connection there, and it was a great experience. We had a great time at that event. And since then, you know, we've been seeing each other and sharing, obviously through the Chamber of Commerce, that it's been the platform for so many businesses and relationships. That's why I would love to, before we end, to encourage you. I'm going to say it in English, in Spanish, if you are interested in growing your business, or you are interested in basically becoming a member of the Chamber of Commerce, this is your opportunity. You just saw the QR code. Oh, you know what? We'll make it easy for you. Just leave a comment below. We'll make it happen no matter what. So, si estás interesado en convertirte en un miembro de nuestra Cámara de Comercio, Te invitamos ahora a que escanes ese código QR o simplemente dejes un comentario en el chat. Nos puedes, a través de la aplicación de Tu Fiesta Radio, nos puedes enviar un comentario. Y ya está, lo vamos a hacer bien fácil para que usted pueda ser un miembro de nuestra Cámara de Comercio y participe de todas las cosas que tenemos por venir. Así que it's been a great time with John Sánchez, CEO and President Eric Godet, Vice President Steve Cannon aquí en Your Chamber Radio Talk Show, Tu Fiesta Radio. ¿Cómo la pasaste, John?
Oh, muy bien.
Muy bien.
Gracias.
We'll see you next time, guys. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the Greater Gainesville Chamber Radio Show, where you can amplify your business through Tu Fiesta Radio.